everyone, this is Ashley with Marshflower Studio. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to make these cute little miniature donuts. They're pretty fast and easy to make and very customizable. So I'll start with my tan for the bottom of my donut. I'm gonna have pink frosting on this one, so I've got my pink here ready. And we're going to do a chain 12 to begin with. So there's my slip knot, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay? And then make sure you don't twist your chain. You're going to kind of curl back around and go in and do a slip stitch in that first chain beside your knot. And then in this round we're going to do an increase in 2 single crochets, and we're going to get a total of 16. Okay, so in the same spot where I just joined, I'm going to do my increase. So there's 1 and 2, and then 3, 4, 5, and 6 together, and then 7, 8, 9, and 10 together, and then 11, 12, and then 13 and 14 together, and then 15 and 16. You can join if you want to, but it's not necessary. And this is going to be on the very inside of this donut, so you're not really going to be able to see whether it's super neat or a little messier. Okay, so we're going to do 2 rows of 16 single crochets, and then we will switch colors for the frosting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then another 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So then I'll do a slip stitch here, and we're going to go ahead and fasten off the yarn. You don't really need a tail. And for our frosting row, we're going to turn our brown part of our donut inside out to attach our pink. So I'm just going to pull a loop through here, and then I'll tie my starting loop, or my starting thread, with the start of the pink. And for this first row, we're just going to do 12 single crochets. So we have 1, I forgot the most important part. So you want to make sure that you turn this so that you are essentially crocheting on the inside of this row. Because you want the outside and the outside to match up, okay? I know that seems a little bit odd. And after this first row, I tend to flip it so they're both right side out, but then I have my working yarn kind of comes up through the middle of the donut as you go, which can be a little aggravating, but it makes it a little bit easier to work with as far as just the crocheting part. All right, so I'm gonna take my hook out for a second and flip this so both of my colors are now, whoop, we have some angry tiny tornadoes in the other room. All right, so this is the same as the brown side. We're gonna do 2 single crochets and then increase so we get up to 16, and then 2 rows of 16. So bear with me for just a minute here. So there's 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now one of them is happy and clapping and the other one is angry, so there must be a toy involved. Sharing is definitely not something they have mastered yet. All right, so 2 rows of 16. And again, this is another pattern where if you have an extra single crochet, it's not the end of the world. Okay, so there's 1 row, almost. There we go. See, I'll have to pull my yarn through the donut as I work with it, but it's just so much faster for it to be facing this way. Well, the biggest thing is that you are going to want your end of your brown and your end of your pink to kind of line up. Do 1 more pink here. Actually, we'll make that my slip stitch. And then we'll pull off enough for some sewing. Oh goodness, it's getting sadder by the second. All right, so we're gonna flip this back to where it's inside out. And then let me get my working thread here pulled back up. We'll put the yarn needle on. And you don't have to kind of stay to watch the entire sewing together. It's very easy, very straightforward. We're just going to go through both loops of our icing and our donut. I don't remember if this is called a whip stitch or a blanket stitch. But I'm going through the pink first every time, and then the brown. And as you Somebody's telling on somebody else. As you go, it'll get a little bit less awkward, okay? Once you get a decent amount done, we'll say maybe like half of your donut sewed together, I would suggest to start putting a little bit of stuffing inside. And this is going to be where one of those stuffing sticks is going to come in handy, because it's pretty tight inside these little donuts, and you want to get the stuffing in there so that it actually looks like a donut and not just a deflated circle. Okay, so we'll tuck these other little yarn tails down in over here. We'll get some stuffing. It's not going to take a ton because it's a small donut, but you do want to make sure that you get some worked in all the way around. I'm going to sew some more shut over here. I think my yarn tail's a little bit long, but it'll be all right. Kind of sounds like one of my tiny tornadoes fell asleep, actually. Right now I gotta get a little bit kind of stuffed down in this last area. It's definitely a little easier to stuff these when they're the bigger ones. It's much easier to get them to have a nice shape. Small ones you gotta really kind of mess with, tug on. I'm gonna put one more little stitch over here. you can, you know, shape it, make that little hole in the middle a little bit bigger once it's all sewn up and sewn and stuffed and ready to go. All right, so again, I like to tie little knots before I tuck my yarn tails in. And at this point, you can be finished, or you can add some sprinkles in your choice of color. This one may get some dark pink sprinkles in a little bit. And we'll tuck our tails through. And if you like the little mini donuts, give the video a like. If you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button so you can see other videos as they come out. Make sure you go back and watch some of the older videos. There's some really cute things in there to make. If you have questions or suggestions, things that you would like to see me make, pop those in the comments and I will work on them. All right, so thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Makes me happy that there are so many other people out there that just love to crochet. So see you next time.